Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Joe from Smart Lock Makers, and today in this video we're going to look at the Nuki Smart Lock 2.0. I've been living with this device for 1 month and I'm going to give you my honest opinion of how I actually use it, what benefits I actually got out of it in the first month of use, and the actual improvements that I think Nuki could take in a possible future iteration. This video isn't actually just me reading from a spec sheet or telling you all the features that you can just read from the website or from the box itself. But I'm actually going to tell you all of the features that I use and how it actually impacted my daily routine in my smart home and just in my daily life in general. I also have the bridge and also the key fobs to complete the package. Now I've been waiting to get a smart lock for a couple of years at least. So I reached out to Nuki to see if they wanted to send me this kit over for me to make this review and to give me my honest opinion. So they did, and here we are. And now let's roll the intro. In my previous video, I talked about smart locks and traditional keys, and you'll find it over here. So in this video, we're just going to go straight into it and talk about the specific reasons why I wanted to go with the Nuki. First reason was around the attracting unwanted attention. So a lot of the smart locks that I was looking on the market, you could actually see from outside someone had a smart lock. So that could potentially attract unwanted attention. What I wanted really was a solution that no one from the outside could really actually notice that I had a smart lock inside, and my home would just appear as any other home basically on the road. So you really don't want to attract unwanted attention to yourself. So that was a point for Nuki. Second point I actually was looking at was ease of installation. I'm not really great with DIY or drills and stuff. And the actual installation of this product was really easy. You have two options. You have plate A and plate B. And if you go through the whole process of actually checking if your lock and your door is compatible beforehand, before ordering the product, then you should actually be good to go, and it should be easy for you to install. So what I did is took the plate, put the screws in, screw them up all together. You need your existing key, and what you'll do is you'll have a copy of the key, you'll slot it in, and then the device will slot over the key and it will just clamp on. It has removable batteries. I'm aware there's also a battery pack, which I don't have. So I haven't tested out the battery life, obviously, because I've only had it for a month. But subscribe to the channel if you want to actually know how this goes in the future. If I remember, I'll try and leave a comment in the future on the battery life down in the description below. Overall, for me, that I'm not really that good at installing stuff. It took me around 20 minutes to install it, considering the fact that I had the camera and I had to put the camera up and record it. But also in my situation, my door has actually a lever. So I had to manually engage this locking system. So it makes my situation a little bit more difficult. And I think this is quite common here in the UK. It's a type of door, but it might not be in Europe. So I had to actually switch a few configurations around to get this working. But after a few trials and errors, I got it to work, and when I open it opens, and when I close it, it closes successfully. And the latch stays open enough time for me to push the door open. There's also this little magnet thing which you can put on the door. Now, I wasn't too clear what the purpose of this was. Understanding is this sort of to give the app the information if your door is open or closed. And that could be useful or not. So I wasn't too sure where to install it, but I just put it there, and I think it works fine. Third reason I actually went with the Nuki 2.0 was the Home Assistant integration. So I'm a Home Assistant fan. I've got Home Assistant running, and for me, this smart lock had to integrate with that. And it actually does that quite well. One note, to actually install it in Home Assistant, you're going to need the bridge. Whereas if you're using HomeKit, you can, out of the box, without the bridge, integrate your lock into HomeKit. But I'll touch on the bridge towards the end of the video and why I think it is an essential part of the deal. Now let me touch on what I actually use this for. So first thing was, well, trying it out and actually leaving the door without a physical key. I always wanted to try this out, and I did it, and I was quite happy with it. So my phone, I got that to work, and also with my smartwatch. So all was really good. I used the Nuki app itself, and I also used the HomeKit app initially before I installed the bridge. I also tried a key fob. I'm not really a fan of the fob because you don't really know what the status of the door is. So let's say, for example, you're outside and you're not sure if the door is locked or unlocked. You tap the button and you might be locking it when you really want to unlock it. I'm sure that there's a way to use this fob in a better way to unlock and unlock properly, but I have got a couple of fobs that were sent with the package thanks to Nuki. So one, I'm going to keep it ready for gas, and I'm always having the fob on my garage keys just in case. So I have the fob, I have my phone, I have my watch, I have many ways that I can get in the house. I'm no longer worried about just losing a single key. Another really cool advantage is at nighttime. So if at nighttime you were normally wondering, well, did I lock the house or not? Did I lock the door? Nowadays you can just go into the app and you can find out, or go into Home Assistant or any other system you're integrating this in. This really gives you a lot of peace of mind, right? You no longer need to make that trip to the door, check it, touch it. And also, I used to have my key quite far away from the front door, and this is for security reasons. So I would always walk up, go and get the key, close it, and put the key back where it was. And that might feel like it's only a 5, 15, 20-second activity every night. Now the fact that I can just tap a button and lock it, or with automation, you could even just lock it yourself. It just takes, it's one less thing to think of. And if you wanted to, I could create automations in Home Assistant, which I will in the future, to auto lock. So, and perhaps even tell me a notification if the door's not locked. So you could do all sorts of things. Another cool scenario was when my wife knocked at the door and I could see that feed from the Nest camera, because I have a Nest doorbell. So I was immediately able to unlock the door and let her in without actually physically getting up and opening the door. Now that sounds really lazy again, but then this is the power of technology, right? The actual operation of the lock is a bit noisy, so this might bother you depending on if you're in a small flat or any reason. It doesn't bother me too much, I'm not too fussed about it. It does make quite a funny clanky noise when it actually operates. The build quality and the aesthetics of this for me is good. It sort of meets a really good standard, looks built well, it feels good to the touch. It's not that massive, but you know, that's going to be for your personal choice really. Now let's talk about the drawbacks of this product and where I think it can improve. I deliberately didn't install the bridge initially, and the reason for that was I wanted to try and experience it without the bridge. In my opinion, the actual cost of this device, of the lock without the bridge, is already quite enough. Okay, so if we have to add the bridge to the cost, this sort of mounts up, and it can actually make this product unaffordable for a lot of people. So I want to try it without the bridge, and my experience was mixed. The Bluetooth from your phone needs to pair to the device, and once it pairs to the device, then it's able to control it, lock or unlock. So what you would find yourself is you pull out your phone, you're walking towards the house, you naturally want to tap the button, the mechanism of unlocking happens. By the time you get to the door, you're just pushing it open. Now that's the magic that I expected, but I couldn't really get there by the time I put my phone out and I was walking towards the door. I would actually reach the door, I have to stop, then pull the phone out, refresh, wait until it connects, then unlock the door through my phone. I could have just got the key out of my pocket nearly. I mean, it was close, and I could have just physically opened it. So it wasn't that snapping that quick without the actual bridge. Now, thanks to this bridge, you can, if you get the bridge, you just need to plug it into a socket, and this needs to be 5 meters from the actual lock. Now, my one is actually further out, it's further away, maybe around 7 meters distance from the lock, but it's working fine. The recommended range is 5 meters, just to let you know. And with this device, what this does, it puts this, connects this to Wi-Fi. And now you can control it, you can open it without being close to the lock. So you can do things like opening it from a distance, like you have a visitor, a babysitter, or whatever you have, or you know, you're at the shower and your partner's knocked on the door and you just open the door for them. So you can do all sorts of things, and the bridge actually makes that interaction a lot easier. You walk up to the door, and by the time you're walking up, you tap on it, and there is a delay, obviously, and you can, there's a half a second delay, but it's not a problem at all, because if you get used to it, you time it properly, you could come out of your car, park your car, tap the lock, walk up to it, and by the time the lock will be open. Obviously, with home automation, you can implement that with zones. So if you have zones in Home Assistant, you can basically, when you enter the zone, unlock your front door. If you exit the zone, lock your front door. You can do that if you're comfortable with that. The second drawback, which is specific to my case, is that it's a lot easier and this could be a drawback or it could be also a pro depending on your point of view, is a lot easier for my toddler to actually leave the house. And because of the fire security feature that you can just basically tap a button and the door can lock and unlock. Obviously before, if he wanted to leave the house, he would have needed to get the key. We could have put the key quite high up so he can't get to the key. But now he doesn't need a key, he doesn't know, figure out how to put the key in or which way to turn it around and how that all works. The only thing he does, he presses a button, he pulls down the lever and he could potentially open up the front door. So if Nuki, you're watching this, what I would recommend that you actually have a feature in your app to disable the physical button. I don't know if that's even possible, but let me know what you think about that. I think it will be it's an amazing product, but I think this sort of issue could hold back potential new parents of actually adopting smart locks. If it is there already, then let me know and I will update the video and I'm in the comment section down below. So yeah, so as a workaround, my plan is to actually get a latch on top, and the actual latch we will physically put it in when we have maybe small kids around and we fear that they might just leave. I guess if you have older kids and you can't get them out of the house, then yeah, it could be actually a good thing. So in summary, am I happy with this product? I'd say yes. I haven't fully utilized all of its features yet in this first month. I'm not too convinced on the fobs. I wouldn't really get them unless you actually don't have people without apps. So it would be great for grandparents, for example, but if you have mobile phones and apps, I would always use the app over the fob because you actually see the status of the door. Overall, I'm quite happy with it. I'm happy I've picked Nuki. I think it's the best option for Home Assistant users to at this stage. If you do want to pick one up, there is a link down in the description below. Let me know if you do pick it up and let me know how you actually are finding it and if it's actually good for you. I really want to hear your opinions on this matter. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel for many more videos about smart locks and all smart gadgets, automations, all this stuff. Click on this next video for 5 smart home automation with smart locks, and if you can't see that yet, then subscribe to the channel and remember to like this video. To actually be updated when that actually drops, you're gonna need to also ring that bell. I hope you enjoy this video. This is Joe from Smart Home Makers. See you guys, peace.